Okay. So should be recording. Say nothing, but should be recording.
Yeah, the voice came up anyway.
Super.
You are recording.
So my name is Fabiola. Everybody call me Fabi. So we are Sacred Body Studio. We are a yoga school. We are a Pilates studio as well. And we have now the Pilates Teaching Training. So basically I'm from Mexico, but I'm 20 years here in Ireland. I'm happy to be here. So my accent is still is not the best, but well, I try to do what I can. And so basically today it's about an introduction of the course, what we're going to see about the course, about ourselves. So I am one of the teachers. The other main teacher is Gislan, but today is teaching at the moment. So we are fitness instructors, Pilates instructors, yoga instructors, spinning instructor, personal trainers. We've been in the industry for I think 15 years and in the fitness industry, but my main training is as a contemporary dancer. But that's one long time ago. Now I am 48 or 49, I don't remember one of the two, but I am nearly the 50s. So basically the idea to create this course, of course, is because in our classes as a yoga, we always mix both Pilates and yoga. I think this is a great combination as the core strength is basic to maintain a good posture. So then we create this course. It was a long journey to get the certification or to have the accreditation from Reps Island because it's quite difficult. They ask a lot of, which is great because that's mean that it's a course that has good quality, that's constantly reviewed, that is only with the highest standards of the national framework. I'm going to go after that. So that's why we create this course, which is a very complete course. And about ourselves, I've been doing Pilates all the time as a dancer. But when I started 15 years ago, I started to teach here in Cork, in the Mardyke Arena, in the Clarion Hotel, in the Kingsley Hotel, and different gyms. And this is how we met Gislan and me actually, because we are partners. And so he suffered from back pain. And he came to my classes, and then after this, long story. So, and then he became a stud Pilates. He's a stud Pilates teacher. So we are together for, I don't remember, 20, no, less, 90, something like that. And we put our studio in 2016. So I'm going to start today with the core muscles and the pelvic floor muscles activation. So I always think like it's good our class, our Pilates class with strength, but what happened after when we are not in the studio? And that is something we need to give it to our students as well. I'm not sure if everybody wants to teach, but I'm going to let's suppose the yes, because at the beginning I know it happened as well with the yoga. The people is not sure about it, but then after when they have the confidence of the knowledge, they start to say, well, why not my friends, my family, and they can start their career. So when you are with your students, we need to understand that the whole, let's suppose in a week, we walk, we stand up, we jump, we run, we do a lot of things. But how many times we engage our core muscles? So literally we engage our core muscles probably a few hours, no more if we go to our Pilates class, our yoga class. So what happened the rest of the week or the rest of the hours? So that's why it's not balancing the strength we do for the demanding of our body every day. So that's why it's important to our students that not only work on the classroom, but as well they have something. So in that way, our classes will have more impact and we have more results. So for example, at the moment we are all sitting, that's okay. I won't make you lie down because I don't want to take too much of your time because it's Friday. So sitting, relax, don't worry. So I just wanted to feel and localize your tailbone, your coccyx. If you don't feel it, you touch it with your fingers, your tailbone. And then I wanted you localize and feel your pubic bone. So your pubic bone is just at the front of your pelvis, at the bottom. So we're gonna localize those points, the tailbone and the pubic bone, and we're gonna have the sensation that we want to move the tailbone towards to the pubic bone and the pubic bone towards the tailbone and you will feel a subtle lifting from the base of the pelvis. So relax, relax. Let's go one more time because it's hard as well to feel those sensations. And then feel your tailbone and your pubic bone. And then imagine that you want to move the tailbone towards the pubic bone and the pubic bone towards the tailbone. And then that subtle sensation is the pelvic floor muscles. Because sometimes they tell us, imagine that you go to the toilet and you want to hold to go to the toilet. But there is a little bit misunderstanding because when we hold, we are engaging the sphincters. So the pelvic floor muscles is completely different because there are muscles who are like a hammock at the base of the hips. And those muscles contract in this direction. So that's why when we move the pubic bone towards the pubic bone, this sensation, these muscles cannot contract to lift, which is what we want. Hold our organs, hold our organs, and as well the weight and the impact we have when we walk, sometimes it's not just that we run, but sometimes you want to reach the bus or something, there is some impact. And that's why it's important to understand that contraction. Now, let's suppose that we have that contraction. We feel it. If not, we're still trying to have the sensation. Now, from the pubic bone, the next thing I wanted you to feel is that the pubic bone is pulling towards your belly button. And you will feel that the pelvis tilt a little bit backwards, tiny bit. So I'm going to just use my arms so you can see. So it's your tailbone, your pubic bone, they move close to each other, but the pubic bone moves towards the belly button. And that creates that the pelvis move onto the neutral position. You feel a tiny, tiny tilting. So what happens with our posture when we don't engage our core muscles? The pelvis arch the spine, it tilts forward. That's why we have the lower back pain. So if we are in neutrals, no problem. But if we tilt forward, because the tummy muscles relax and the pelvic floor muscles, these muscles here, the QL, start to be tight, start to compress, and that's why start our problems with the back, lower back pain. But not only that, if those guys start to contract, they're going to start to pull the joints in the hips and the ligaments and the tendons. So it's a mess up. So that's why it's important during the day, like 3 times a day, that I'm going to connect tailbone, pubic bone, and belly button. And give it a couple of times. So concentrate if you want to close right. So feel tailbone, pubic bone, and pulling the pubic bone towards your belly button. And it's very subtle. Joseph Pilates say from the full contraction, we're going to contract only the 30%. So it's very subtle. Why subtle? Because if we contract too much, is what is happening. When we contract too much, I'm going to put in the side so you can see my hips. So when we put in the sides and we contract too much, we try to go too deeper. As that happens when we develop too much abs strength, it becomes like that a little bit. So this is going to help us to understand the neutral position of the hips. And that is something is going to strengthen more our core muscles than just 1 hour of Pilates. Of course, the hour of Pilates is going to help us to develop strength, but maintain this contraction of your core muscles is going to constantly strengthen muscles, but not only that, it's going to maintain your pelvis in neutral. So it's going to be less stress in your spine and less stress in your hips and knees, which is the most important of maintaining your core stability, your core engagement. So during I am talking about the core, try it again. Okay, feel it. And it's very subtle. You need to feel a subtle lifting. Everything cannot lift up. And that's all. If you feel when the pubic bone moves to the belly button, that your chest moves slightly down, that's normal because it's your 6-pack muscles engaging as well. So you just lift your chest bone and that's all. So this is some of the things that we're going to learn during the course. It's important to understand the basics of the core muscles, which is what Joseph Pilates called the powerhouse. And it's all these, the core muscles are muscles. There's not only your abs, your back muscles, your legs, your glutes, your pelvic floor muscles, your neck. It's a lot of muscles involved in the core muscles. And it's important that we understand the stability of the pelvis because sometimes the exercises of Pilates, if we don't have that engagement, can make more harm Because why? So for example, we are doing exercises. Let me just move a little bit down this. Okay, so for example, we have the repertory of Pilates. We have the 100, one leg stretch, two legs stretch. But if this back is arching and is not engaging as we just did, it's gonna put on the pressure our lower back. So this is one of the principles that we have to understand, but as well for our students. They need to understand that 1 hour is not gonna support the whole body because, okay, we engage super good in our class, and what happened after the class? We relax, we arch our back. So then, pues it's not give us that result, so it won't develop. So that's why it's important as well that we give it to our students something from outside, something easy. You know, we're not gonna let big homework, you know, like, oh, you have to do 1 hour. No, small things that help them to understand and to keep more the activation and maintain the neutrality of the pelvis. So during the talking, you try it again. You forgot, you are relaxed, and then, okay, I'm gonna feel it. And remember, you move your tailbone towards your pubic bone and your pubic bone towards your tailbone, like they want to move towards each other. This is the first activation. You feel very subtle. Don't try to go too much because it's really just the 30%. If we go too much, you start to engage your glutes. Now from here, you pull the pubic bone towards the belly button. If you need some support, you can squeeze a little bit your glutes just to help you to engage more those 3 points. So let's now go about what this course offers for you. So this is a level 4 certification. What does it mean, level 4 certification? So this is related with the National Frame certification. You know that you have your level 1, your level 2. So your level 4, I think so is like the... what is the name of this one? The Living Cert or something like that. So the level 4 certification is the highest qualification you get in Pilates. And this framework is related with or is linked with the Europeans frameworking. So that helps us to maintain a standard. They are constantly reviewed, these courses. So for professionals, they feel safe that the course has certain quality and it has a certain knowledge. So because it's a level 4, that doesn't mean that you have to go level 1, level 2, level 3. No, you don't have to. So you go with this as a level 4. So because they ask us for as a level 4 certification, during the course we need to learn basic of fitness, which is important, how to develop strength, how to develop muscle mass, how we can make our programs in the way that are really efficient and we get results for our students. So we need to learn the basic of fitness, how the muscles grow, basically. You know, it's how the muscles get stronger. Then as well, we need to cover nutrition because before, for example, when I did my course, which was probably 20 years ago, they ask you to do a fitness course before. So you need to have a fitness instructor before you go to Pilates because it was not covered. Even now, with my certification, I did in Dublin, still there were some problems because they were not during this framework. That's why we take too long, because we could do it as a school. We can say you have Pilates and you can have your certification from ourselves. But there is no an organization behind us. And that's why it took us, because you have to pass a couple of filters. So our certification is accredited by REPS Ireland. Everybody's familiar with REPS Ireland? Yeah. Yeah. REPS Ireland is the organization who regulate all the fitness industry in Ireland. And that is the only organization who is connected with the European regulators in the fitness industry. So that means if you want to go to Germany to teach Pilates, so then you level 4, it match with the European standards, so you can get insurance. That is for all around the world. That's why it's important that level 4 certification. You know what I mean? It's not about there is another level 5. No, because you already with this one, you go to the European standards. So that is important. So, so that's why it's important that we understand that this cover the basic of fitness and nutrition as a part of this one as well during the course, because so I'm in the industry for a couple of years and I know how the things start to create a small little courses, and then we can pay more and more and more. Like for example, I did my first course of Mat Pilates, and then after I pay another 4 more extra courses to be able to have a diploma. There is no even certified as this European framework. So what we do is like what we don't put in this course, small equipment, so people doesn't need to pay extra. Small equipment, what is a small equipment? How to use the ring, how to use the small ball, how to use the belts, how to use the bands, and that will give us more complete an understanding, and we don't have after this to do another little, if you can cover, because it's part of the training. The other thing we are incorporating in this course is the floor bar. So let's see what is the difference of floor bar and bar. Okay, so bar is coming from ballet. So it's a fitness, somebody create a brand about mixing fitness, ballet, and strength conditioning. That's why it's important that in your course you're gonna have the basic of fitness, because you need to understand how it works, strength conditioning, because that's the only way you really can develop a strength. So, so bar ballet, or the bar of ballet. So you can do it stand up, which is the Russian style, or you can do it on the floor, which is the Cuban style. So what we are doing in this course, we're gonna put 2 floor bar, what you can do on the ground, so you can strengthen your legs, your arms, your spine, your back, and then how you can move it as well on the standing poses in case that you can do it. So really you have loads of ideas to create a really interesting program and complete program. Now, why Pilates? Pilates, as you can see, is growing. Like it was very strong. 2000, probably 2010, 2009. But then yoga come on board and yoga take over. You know what I mean? Because we're in this industry, so we know how yoga took over everything. But now it start to come up. Us, since day one, because I'm both, and I am fitness instructor and I am a dancer, so I know the importance to mix not only stretch as yoga, passive stretches, but strength. Both have to, is the balance for the body. We cannot just stay one. So we really, even in our yoga studio, we don't teach traditional yoga, because it needs to be strength development as well, and core strength. So it's a good opportunity. It's new. If you are already working in the industry, it's going to give you more ideas, because always this industry change. You know, you have customers, but then the customers look somebody else because something new. That we are always looking for something new, and that is in all the industry. I think even in the restaurants, you know, people get bored of the same and they try another one. So we always have to kind of new things. So that's why when you have lots of things that you can take, lots of elements that you can choose, but you never get bored, neither yourself, neither your students, because this is the key. If you get bored, your students will get bored as well. So that's something that you always can change the dynamics in your classes. So this is one thing. Now you can teach online in studios, create your own business, add to your already career if you are doing it. So the course is gonna start in September 2025. I think so. This is the last weekend of September. So basically we go Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 5. In the morning we train ourselves, because of course we need to be in shape as well as a fitness instructors or Pilates instructors, not only for how we look, because we need the stamina and as well avoid injuries. Because I don't know, you are already working the industry, but maybe at the beginning you start 2 classes, 1 class, but at some point you're gonna teach 5 classes a week, 6 classes a week. So you need to make sure that you don't hurt yourself as well, because it's a lot of demands as well for the body. So that's why it's important. Always in our courses, we do first we develop ourselves, understand ourselves what's going on, and then we can teach, because then we can know if somebody come with no experience, no anything, so we can develop as a beginner, and somebody who have already experience, we can guide it as well. So it's important that we start from day one. Everybody will start as beginners, and how we're gonna progress, because the Pilates exercises. So Pilates create a course called Contrology. After when he died, somebody else created the method Pilates. We're gonna learn the history of Pilates as well in the course. But these exercises need certain strength and certain flexibility. So what is important as a fitness instructor is how we are gonna adapt these ones for somebody who doesn't have this strength, because if not, it's gonna have this kind of problems. I don't know, you've been hearing that, I went to Pilates and I hurt my back. It's easy to hurt the back if the core muscles are not engaged. That's why, let's go back again. Tailbone, pubic bone, and belly button. And you see your pelvis tilt. And we lose it very quickly. After a few talkings, we relax. So it's really important that we understand that this control, this understanding needs to apply correctly in the class, because our students are going to put a lot of demand in the lower back. So if the core muscles are not engaged, the lower back, so what happened with the lower back? Oh, I don't have something here flexible. But for example, yes, I had. So this is our back, okay? But if the demand start to be strong with the exercises, even if you are lying on your back, and the tummy muscles start to release, the back start to arch, and then the lower back is under pressure and the people can hurt. So that's why it's important as well to know how to develop beginners. It's great if we have everybody can strong and can engage the core muscle. Happy days for ours as instructors. But when the people doesn't have the strength, we need to give us a little bit of support. So that's why it's important to as well learn how to adapt these exercises from Pilates to everybody, that the people can develop. So this is one of the things we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn anatomy. Anatomy applied to Pilates. What does it mean? There is not just a lecture of anatomy, muscles, bones, joints, ligaments. No. In this exercise, which muscles we are working, which muscles we need to strengthen to develop this exercise, what we need to do in case our students, when they, for example, if we are in, let me just move here. For example, if we are in the scissors, just this one. If our people start to feel lower back pain, so what we can to do for them to adapt, so they still can follow the rest of the class, or can keep going with the rhythm of the class, but they have certain adaptations that will help them to improve. For example, the roll-up. Let me give you one example more on the roll-up. When we are in the roll-up, let's suppose, and here, so people normally have this little problem that when they go down, they start to lift their heels, and they go down, and then after they take a little momentum, and that's mortal for the lower back. But simple way to adapt this one is gonna support something in our lower back. We go backwards, so it support and allow the heels to stay on the ground, and when we are coming, we don't need the momentum, we just use our muscles. So these little details that they will help to our students to be more comfortable in the class and safe as well. So this is something we're going to learn during the class, not only the repertoire, the original repertoire of Pilates, but as well how to adapt them. So basically is that what we do. We train in the morning, and then after we have a little a break, and then we have lectures. This is the way it works. Now this course, because it's an accreditation for Reps Island asks us for a final writing exam. So the final writing exam is 1 hour writing, because remember that this is accreditation that follow the European standards and the national framework. So this is not my studio given a certification, no. So we need to maintain the standards of the teachers. So that's why the writing exam is mandatory for Reps Island to have you accreditation. So what we're gonna do for this writing exam, so we don't get panic, we don't get stressed. So during the months, we're gonna do quiz. quiz that will help us to reassure our knowledge, so it's not a big shock at the end of the course, because it's hard to have one writing exam for 1 hour, you know what I mean? So in that way, wherever question it comes, wherever thing it comes, we will resolve and you feel confident for your writing exam. It's not a surprise that you're gonna have 20 questions about something else. And as well, the exam is a multiple choice, so it still is a way to help us. So don't worry too much about the writing exam. We guarantee that you will be fully succeed in that, you know what I mean? Unless in case somebody who didn't study or we didn't follow the quiz or didn't do the homework, but maybe, you know. But if you keep going with the reading of the class or the course, it won't be a problem. The other thing as well, you need to teach at the end of the course a class to the whole group of 30 minutes. It's just, again, to practice. But don't worry neither about that. In case they say, no, I don't want to teach, this is just for myself, I want to do Pilates every morning when I woke up and I don't want to go anywhere and I want to know what to do with my body. Don't worry. This is just to have experience. So during the course, we did practical things, you know? So, for example, we learned the roll-up, the one I did just, you know? And the next 2 weeks, we need to teach the roll-up to the class, just one exercise or 2 exercises, you know. So then you start to practice and to break down the fear, you know what I mean? Because this is more like the fear to make mistakes that we all have. So since day one, we always say in our courses don't worry to make mistakes, because this is the only way we're gonna learn. So don't worry you mess it up, it's just a practice. It's just, so the good thing is that after the people really get really comfortable about it, so there is, of course, the fear is always there because it's adrenaline, because, you know, we want to make good, but we will always make sure that you have the support, that you don't feel alone, that you don't feel like what. So before you teach or go to a quiz or exams, you're already well prepared and you know it. What about the how to say, this is the assignment, so the assignment is clear, so don't worry, even if it's a writing exam, you will pass. In case that you won't pass, I don't think so, because we're gonna make sure that you pass the exam, you know, we want you to pass the exam, but in case, we can redo it again, you know what I mean? There's no problem, so don't worry about that. The assistants, so these guys of Reps Ireland, they ask us for 80% of assistance, 90% of assistance. But things can happen. You can get sick, you can get something can happen, and you need to miss 1 or more days, or one weekend or more weekends. So what we do is we're gonna record the session you're not coming in on Zoom, and we will send you back and you can cover. So it take off the pressure if something happen, so you don't lose your course, you know. And if we have more freedom as well as a school to manage that part, okay? The only thing that we know that you are at least the 80% or you are covering the courses. So from our side, no problem, we will help you with that as well. That in case that you miss it, that you cover online, and any questions, we will be there. So don't worry about that. So this course start in September. Let me just go to the website to give you the exactly dates. Now, why we run it every second weekend? Why we don't run it every month? After years, we discovered that if we go once a month, the people start to get kind of lose the interest in after 6 months, because you need 200 hours or more than 200 hours. So if you divide for one weekend a month is 1 year, of course. And after 6 months, you start to be tired. You know what I mean? You start to lose interest in, it's too long. And we say, oh, but you have more time to practice yourself. No, it's not happening. You maybe the first months you start, but then after well, it's in a month and 3 weeks, you know. So what we find is after 6 months, the interest in, the disposition, the adrenaline, whatever you want to call it start to go down. So it's no point. 6 months, quickly, sorry about that, quickly, and then the people keep moving on. You know what I mean? Keep really interesting, practicing, because it's different if you train with us 1 month, 1 weekend, and then 3 weeks nothing, and you are busy with your life. You know what I mean? But if you go 1 weekend on and off, you're always gonna be training. You know what I mean? No matter you didn't do nothing.
No
All
time
right.
to distract.
How much time you will need by yourself to study? What we always say is we need to be realistic. Okay, you have jobs, you have family, probably you have kids, probably you have a life. So what we try to do is that you keep realistic with your goals of training. Okay, and we always let's start just with 10 minutes twice a week, 30 minutes twice a week, and little by little you will create. Don't worry that we will see that in the course, how to, that is as well in the fitness basics. Because when we create a course, we need to see, okay, it's going to be 6 weeks and I want to achieve this goal. So I need to be realistic. I need this time. I need this type of training to achieve. So that's why it's going to be good as well that we put the basic of fitness in the course, because it will help you to achieve your goals and your students that you're going to teach. So we start the 27th and 28th of September. In September, we have only 1 weekend. Then we have 2 weekends in October, 2 weekends in November, 2 weekends in December. We finish at 14th of December, and after you are free. And then we have 2 weekends in January and 1 in February. So by February, we are finished. In total, it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So it's going to go fast, and you're going to be ready to go. During the course as well, we're going to how to set your business. What do you need to set your business? Some ideas that we can help you to start. The benefits of Pilates in our lifestyle. And as I said, it's going to be ongoing. Actually, the final practice exam is 40 minutes, not 1 hour. 1 hour, and teach 40 minutes, sorry. And the books, at the moment, we only have the Return to Life, the Joseph Pilates, and the Conscious Book of Muscles. The equipment, you need to have your mat, elastic band. Don't worry the strength, any elastic band. The Pilates circle, and the small ball. They put a small block, it's a small ball. I'm just gonna check this. And it's important to learn how to use the equipment, but as well, during the course, we're gonna try to save no equipment, because not everybody start with a super mega studio, with all the equipment. Some of us, we teach in the community center and I don't know, somewhere else. So it's hard to have all the equipment. So we can, during the part of the teaching and methodology, we're gonna learn as well how to not use anything, use our body, and that's enough. So basically, it's all about the course, and I wanted to if you have any questions, if you can go ahead, and that will help us to everybody, because sometimes one question with a person have one question and can be everybody's question. So it will be good. Just I'm gonna give you the fee. So you have the early bird of 2,100. Remember, you don't need to do a small equipment. You don't need to do the bar training. You don't need to be a fitness course. It will cover with this one. So the early bird fee is 2,100, and it's gonna be until June 20. But you can pay in installments the early bird. So for example, so you don't have to pay in full. So if you decide to go ahead in the next couple of days, so you start your installment, you need to just make sure that you decide before June, of course, 20th of June, and you pay before the 20th of June in installments. Make sense? So you don't have to pay the full early bird in one go. You can pay in installments as far as it's go before the June 20. How much? It's up to you. I say I can do that every month. I can do that every week. It's up to you. We want to make it easy for everybody. And the standard rate after the June 20 is 2,500. What is involved? Is involved your manual, and during the course you will have access to our online classes. So then you can have ideas, you can practice at home. So you have free access to our online training. And that's all. I think so that's all for my side. Yeah. And well, in the website, you have all the content. So you have the practice, the 34 original exercise of Pilates, and more, because we say we have adaptations, modifications, the floor bar exercise and sequence, the modify exercises and apply adaptations, as you say, exercises with the breath, how to the breath work in Pilates, the importance of nutrition, and how to use the equipment, small equipment of Pilates that I already said. The anatomy and physiology, principles of natural alignment, this is all in the website. Principles of Pilates, biomechanics applications, and that biomechanics application is what we do just at the moment. So let's come back again to your 3 points: tailbone, pubic bone, belly button. And you see your pelvis move backwards and align you. Now you just squeeze a little bit your glutes, the work is done. And that is good. So this is still what we call biomechanics application. Because to say to the people, engage your tummy, tummy in. There are so many ways to go. Engage your tummy. Everybody have their own opinion. And what is the other one? Tummy in. Pues, what do when you say tummy? You suck up. Is that right? You suck up, and that doesn't help because it doesn't allow you to move the rest of the body, because you only contract the rectus abdominis. But with the other one, we go with the base, and then we can really feel, with the practice, we feel more our core muscles, more the abs muscles and the pelvic floor muscles. Corrections, adjustments, and modifications, that's something that we're going to learn, because we have to help our students, ourselves, joint alignments and muscles engagement. Benefits and contraindications, injury considerations, and anatomy to Pilates, body systems, skeletal, muscular, cardiovascular, and benefits of nutrition. And the methodology, you have all this information: communication skill, teaching, cueing, observation, time management. And that is something that we're going to keep practicing. Our courses, we are very practical, that we are constantly doing it. No, it's theoretical, because it's very difficult to learn in that way. So it's practical. We learn something, we apply, and we feel it, and it really becomes more natural when we want to teach the history of Pilates, principles of contrology, business, ethics, and values. And I think so I'm done with that. So tell me, is anybody here have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Well, I have a couple questions.
I cannot hear you, Jenna.
Oh, sorry.
You're mute.
Can you hear me now?
You're mute, so you need to.
It shows that
you.
You're mute.
Oh, you can hear me?
No, we cannot hear you. You have to press on mute.
No, I can.
It's myself.
Hear. Yes, I can.
It's myself who have it. A ver, let me just go. So I have mute everybody.
Maybe because you're recording. Yeah.
Wait 2 seconds, because this is the new version of. No, you're not mute. A ver, somebody else can talk. Somebody else.
Well, I can hear her talking, and I can hear you talking.
I cannot hear anybody. Sorry. Give me 2 seconds.
Me? No.
No. It should be.
Not even me. Okay.
No, it should be. Yeah. Listen to you. Let me just check. Because I cannot hear you, Jenna. Sorry. Let me just check here why. Those notes, Viber. Because, okay. See. All right, let me see the chat. I think it's because you are recording. Okay. So let me stop the recording, okay? Give me 2 seconds to stop the recording, okay? So this is the recording stop. Thank you so much. Stop recording.